Deep within the corridors of Russian military command, a new terror has taken hold. Vladimir Putin and his generals aren't losing sleep over fighter jets or missile systems. Their true nightmare comes from something far smaller, far cheaper, and infinitely more dangerous. A Swedish innovation called the Krueger. This isn't some horror movie villain wielding bladed gloves. This is something far more real, far more threatening. The Krueger 100 and its enhanced sibling, the Krueger 100 XR, represents a technological breakthrough that could fundamentally reshape modern warfare. What makes these systems so terrifying to the Kremlin? They've cracked the code on anti-drone warfare's two most frustrating problems: astronomical costs and the impossibility of scaling defenses fast enough. By solving this seemingly impossible equation, Sweden's innovation threatens to dramatically tilt the battlefield advantage in eastern Ukraine toward Kyiv's forces. Beyond Ukraine's borders, it promises to seal the gaping vulnerabilities in Europe's drone defense networks. The implications reach far beyond a single conflict. Let's dive deep into this revolutionary system and explore what it means for the constantly evolving chess match between unmanned aircraft and the weapons designed to bring them down. Not just in Ukraine, but across the entire geopolitical landscape. The Krueger 100 emerged from Swedish innovation labs as a lightweight, battery-driven drone hunter designed for both battlefield and civilian protection scenarios. Swedish startup Nordic Air Defense, known simply as NAD, unveiled their creation in late March 2025, and the defense community immediately took notice. To understand why this matters, we need to examine the drone ecosystem dominating Ukraine's skies. Modern combat drones fall into 5 distinct categories, classified by their dimensions, mass, operational ceiling, and mission profiles. The smallest threats, designated Group 1, barely tip the scales at 20 pounds. These miniature platforms hover below 1,200 feet, cruising at speeds under 115 miles per hour. Their compact frames and whisper-quiet operation make detection incredibly challenging. Military units deploy them for close-range surveillance and reconnaissance missions, exploiting their near invisibility. Group 2 platforms represent the next escalation. Weighing between 21 and 55 pounds, these tactical workhorses operate up to 3,500 feet at speeds reaching 287 miles per hour. Their enhanced endurance and payload capacity transform them into versatile weapons. They excel as kamikaze attack platforms, persistent watchers over military installations, and guardians of urban zones and border regions. Group 3 drones bring serious weight to the battlefield, up to 1,320 pounds of aircraft. While their maximum velocity matches Group 2 systems at 250 knots, they soar to 18,000 feet. This substantial mass allows them to carry sophisticated sensor arrays or devastating weapons payloads. Brigade and battalion commanders rely on these heavy-duty platforms rather than individual squad leaders. The Krueger system, both the 100 and 100XR variants, was specifically engineered to neutralize Groups 1 through 3. These represent the overwhelming majority of drone threats on modern battlefields. Beyond these categories exist even larger platforms, Groups 4 and 5. Both exceed 1,320 pounds and operate at any velocity, but altitude separates them. Group 4 systems, including America's MQ-1 Predator, function below 18,000 feet. These runway-dependent platforms integrate advanced targeting sensors, devastating weapons, and sophisticated command networks. Group 5 represents the apex. High-altitude endurance monsters like the RQ-4 Global Hawk, MQ-4C Triton, and the shadowy RQ-180. These strategic surveillance titans provide persistent overwatch across entire continents, operating in controlled airspace where few threats can reach them. Their intelligence feeds support the highest levels of national decision-making. 2 Russian systems particularly concern Ukraine's defenders, and both fall squarely within the Krueger's engagement envelope. The notorious Orlan-10 reconnaissance platform and the Russian-manufactured Gerin variants, direct copies of Iran's Shahed 136 loitering munition. The Orlan-10 has become Russia's reconnaissance workhorse, deployed extensively for tactical observation, artillery targeting coordination, and electronic warfare operations. At approximately 40 pounds and capable of reaching 16,500 feet, it straddles the boundary between Group 2 and 3 classifications. These platforms enable Russia's devastating artillery barrages and FAB glide bomb strikes on Ukrainian frontline positions. As NAD's CEO Carl Rosander emphasizes with striking clarity, The most lethal drones on any battlefield aren't the first-person view systems dropping grenades. The real killers transmit GPS coordinates or artillery strikes. We desperately need rapid, affordable methods to eliminate them. The Gerin 2 serves as Russia's preferred weapon for long-distance terror strikes deep inside Ukrainian territory. Technically classified as a loitering munition, many analysts describe it as a single-use cruise missile due to its one-way attack profile. Yet it fits perfectly within Group 3 parameters, 440 pounds maximum, cruising between 213,000 feet altitude. Meanwhile, the vast majority of GPS-guided and fiber-optic-controlled first-person view drones deployed by both sides fall into Group 1. Despite their tactical devastation, they rarely exceed 20 pounds, with most weighing a fraction of that even with 10-pound explosive payloads. They almost universally operate below 1,200 feet at speeds under 100 knots. Russian fiber-optic variants like the Kenyas Vandal Novgorodsky extend their range dramatically, 12 to 19 miles or beyond, far exceeding standard Group 1 capabilities. However, their weight and altitude limitations keep them within Group 1 specifications, making them a specialized subset rather than a higher category. Ukraine's FPV drone force has tormented Russian ground forces mercilessly. Conservative estimates suggest these inexpensive platforms account for roughly two-thirds of Russia's 3,000 to 4,000 tank losses throughout the conflict, an astonishing kill ratio for weapons costing a few $100s. But Russia's superior industrial capacity and intimate relationship with China has allowed Moscow to close the production gap in standard FPV systems. More concerning, Russia pioneered and dominates fiber-optic drone technology, a critical advantage that continues growing. In August alone, China shipped 328,000 miles of specialized cable to Russia, while Ukraine received a mere 72 miles. That's a 4,556 to 1 disparity. This proliferation creates nightmares for Ukrainian defenders because fiber optic systems bypass conventional electronic warfare completely. Standard jamming systems that disrupt radio-controlled FPV drones prove utterly useless against hardwired connections. The Krueger system, as we'll discover, offers potentially revolutionary solutions to this seemingly impossible challenge. Ukraine has certainly constructed a multi-layered, sophisticated counter-drone network, regularly reporting success rates above 90% against Gerin swarms. But here's the devastating reality. These solutions are economically catastrophic and completely unsustainable long-term. Traditional FPV and fiber-optic drones cost anywhere from several hundred to a few $1,000s. Russia learned the hard way that losing multi-million-dollar tanks, armored vehicles, and air defense systems to weapons costing a tiny fraction becomes economically impossible to sustain. But the reverse equation proves equally devastating. Destroying cheap drones with anti-drone weapons costing hundreds of thousands or millions and requiring or longer production times quickly becomes an unwinnable war of attrition. Gerin drones carry price tags between $30,000 and $100,000. Even when Ukrainian defenses successfully eliminate 9 out of 10, that single penetrating drone can destroy a power transformer, gas storage facility, or oil refinery worth millions. Orlan 10 platforms cost between $87,000 and $120,000 each. Ukraine's powerful Western-supplied air defense networks, American Patriot and Vampire systems, German Iris-T platforms, have proven remarkably effective against the relatively sluggish flying lawnmowers, as Ukrainians sarcastically call the Gerins. But availability is severely limited, and the economics are absolutely brutal. A single Iris-T interceptor costs approximately $450,000. One Patriot PAC-3 missile runs roughly $3.7 million. Even shoulder-launched Stinger missiles cost around $480,000 each. These pale compared to the $12.7 million price tag for a single THAAD interceptor, currently the world's premier defensive system. Using any of these solutions against continuous swarms of 100 to 500 Gerins nightly simply cannot work mathematically. Current annual PAC-3 production sits around 500 missiles, though Lockheed Martin plans increasing output to 2,000 due to surging demand. Iris-T and Vampire production rates remain classified, but likely measure in hundreds annually. Meanwhile, Russia has ramped Gerin production to approximately 6,000 monthly, simultaneously dropping unit costs from $200,000 to around $70,000. They also manufacture roughly 100 Orlan 10s monthly, plus anywhere from 50,000 to 170,000 FPV and fiber optic drones. Ukraine would exhaust Western interceptor stockpiles within weeks. Even achieving perfect kill rates wouldn't matter. The drones would keep coming. These high-end solutions work brilliantly, but sustainability, absolutely impossible. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte captured this crisis perfectly. It is completely unacceptable to shoot down drones costing $1,000 or $2,000 with missiles that may cost $500,000 or even $1 million. That's precisely why Ukraine and Western militaries have shifted focus toward anti-drone systems that are dramatically cheaper, vastly easier to mass produce, and critically, not dependent on Chinese components. The Krueger 100 and 100 XR check all three boxes perfectly. The original 100 variant is essentially a low-cost mini-missile employing kinetic force rather than explosives to neutralize drones. Using infrared sensors, it hunts hostile aircraft and physically rams them from the sky at tremendous velocity, making it dramatically safer for civilian deployment than explosive projectiles. The XR version Scion extends engagement range, incorporates thermal-seeking capabilities, adds a warhead option, and provides longer loiter time. But fundamentally, it operates on identical principles and delivers the same game-changing advantages. First among those advantages, cost revolution. At an anticipated $5,000 per missile, the Krueger completely inverts the economic equation of shooting down Gerins and Orlan 10s. 1 or 2 dozen of these mini-missiles can be produced for the same price as a single enemy drone. Admittedly, they still can't economically counter Russian FPV drones costing $300 to $650 each. Russian fiber optic platforms run $1,000 to $2,000 due to expensive cable and unwinding spools. Still, $5,000 remains. Infinitely more sustainable than $450,000 for a Vampire missile. When saving a multi-million-dollar tank from destruction, it's absolutely worth it, especially considering NAD should soon be manufacturing them at massive scale. The low cost and rapid scalability both stem from the Krueger 100's ingenious design philosophy. Traditional interceptors depend heavily on onboard sensors, cameras, and fuel-powered propulsion systems. Heavy, expensive hardware. Worse, many components are manufactured primarily in China, which increasingly restricts military and dual-use component sales to Western nations, especially Ukraine. The Krueger solves these challenges through pulsed propulsion and software-based flight control for tracking and interception. Unlike traditional jet engines, the Krueger's propulsion system runs entirely on electricity, battery-powered with a rear-mounted propeller. This configuration enables precise power modulation, delivering short, high-intensity thrust bursts that mimic pulsed propulsion efficiency while maintaining simplicity and minimal weight. The battery-driven motor generates sufficient output to push the interceptor beyond 270 km per hour in civilian configurations, with military variants achieving even higher velocities. This electric architecture dramatically reduces maintenance requirements and production costs, making the Krueger ideal for rapid, large-scale deployment against drone threats while retaining exceptional maneuverability through software-based control. The second revolutionary feature, making the Krueger affordable, scalable, and China-resistant, its software-centric architecture eliminating most conventional hardware. Rather than expensive mechanical components requiring constant repair, upgrades, or replacement, the system employs advanced aircraft control algorithms guiding the interceptor through controlled aerodynamics. The 100 version includes infrared tracking operating continuously in all weather conditions through clouds, at night, anytime. The XR variant adds thermal-seeking capabilities. Moreover, the system's modular design allows adaptation for mission-specific payloads and launcher configurations tailored to particular operational environments. Concept imagery from NAD shows the missiles can launch multiple ways: handheld cannon, rifle-like device, launch crates containing multiple projectiles, even vehicle-mounted systems. This versatility will be music to Ukrainian forces' ears, both frontline troops and rear-area personnel defending critical infrastructure from Gerin swarms. Instead of one expensive sensor and missile bubble, they'll deploy thousands of intelligent miniature interceptors mass-deployed flexibly across entire sectors, updated via software overnight. Indeed, guidance systems, target discrimination algorithms, and interception logic exist in code that can be updated remotely rather than requiring physical machinery changes. This makes the Krueger more adaptable and resilient than far more expensive anti-drone competitors. Ukraine's war has always been evolutionary cat and mouse, as each side introduces countermeasures to enemy weapons and countermeasures as the conflict progresses. With the Krueger, the system doesn't require withdrawal from service for workshop upgrades every time Russia deploys new countermeasures, modifies drone behavior, or introduces different engagement profiles. The system can be patched and upgraded remotely and continuously with dramatically less effort, expense, and risk. This software-centric approach also massively reduces Chinese dependency for Krueger production. China's increasingly aggressive restrictions on drone component and fiber optic cable sales to Ukraine, combined with their stranglehold on rare earth minerals critical to America's high-tech defense industry, highlight Western military supply chains' dangerous vulnerability to Chinese over-reliance. NAD deeply distrusts over-dependence on both China and America, actively building a European supply chain. Military analyst Wes O'Donnell explains, they're avoiding Chinese components wherever feasible, sourcing parts from Southeast Asia, and establishing European suppliers for sensitive components. That matters politically and from sanctions embargo resilience perspectives. Nobody wants to reach mid-production ramp-up only to discover a supplier caught in diplomatic crossfire. Detailed specifications for both the Krueger 100 and 100XR remain limited. However, according to NAD, the system achieves mid-altitude engagement capability up to 13,000 feet, roughly matching Gerin cruising altitude and substantially exceeding Russian FPV and fiber-optic drone operating ceilings. The civilian version reportedly reaches speeds around 168 miles per hour, faster than Russia's Gerin 2, Orlan 10s, and FPV fiber-optic drones. Military variants deployed in Ukraine achieve even high air velocities. The missiles measure approximately 7.5 to 12 inches long, hence their mini-missile designation. Beyond Ukraine, where reports suggest the warhead-equipped XR variant rather than the purely kinetic 100 version is being deployed, the system was designed with civilian infrastructure defense as a primary consideration. In civilian context, the Krueger 100 could protect airports, nuclear facilities, ports, government buildings, and maritime vessels. Its portability enables rapid deployment across diverse locations. This has become increasingly urgent with growing drone infiltrations allegedly originating from Russia, causing serious concern across Central Europe. NAD has particularly emphasized increasing unauthorized drone activity over Sweden, including surveillance attempts over critical infrastructure and foreign nationals operating drones near government facilities. These incidents underscore what NAD identifies as massive gaps in Sweden's air defense coverage, which they estimate currently protects only approximately 5% of national territory, primarily military installations. In Sweden and NATO's Eastern Front nations facing Russia, the Krueger 100 could provide the missing link for rapidly scaling counter-drone defenses against these incursions. Due to their low-cost, budget-constrained nations like the Baltic states could rapidly and effectively cover forward units, logistics depots, and critical infrastructure without financial catastrophe. Additionally, because the 100 version doesn't detonate, potential civilian casualties from falling drone debris are dramatically reduced. Both in Ukraine and across these nations, the Krueger can be rapidly integrated into agile, multi-layered defensive frameworks, including other relatively low-cost counter-drone measures Ukraine has already established. Electronic warfare and jamming systems, machine guns, interceptor drones, anti-drone netting strung across logistics routes and military positions, even humble shotguns. Of course, no system exists without potential vulnerabilities, and the Krueger must overcome several to become a cornerstone of Europe's counter-drone defenses. Technology proliferation inevitably leads to enemy capture. That means potential reverse engineering, electronic countermeasures, even deployment against the forces originally using it. Even with fully European supply chains, those chains can be compromised. Supposedly disposable interceptors could be converted into missiles by reprogramming seekers and attaching more powerful warheads. Electronic warfare and spoofing present genuine challenges due to the system's software-centric nature. Jamming, thermal decoys, and spoofed data feeds could potentially blunt interceptions. However, NAD fully recognizes this vulnerability, which is why updates and sensor fusion remain central to the design philosophy. Automated target acquisition also raises serious legal and ethical questions, as O'Donnell pointedly asks, who do you hold accountable when the effector commits a war crime on its own? It remains unclear what doctrinal safeguards and human-in-the-loop protocols have been, or will be, implemented to ensure the Krueger destroys intended targets and doesn't become a dystopian nightmare straight from Black Mirror episodes. Still, if the Krueger proves cheap, effective, and easily scalable, it could make a critical difference in Ukraine's defense and represent a concrete step toward full-spectrum European autonomy in the drone defense sector. Manufacturing capacity, employment, and sovereignty could follow in its wake, not to mention dramatically superior drone defenses. And Putin will certainly have nightmares about that. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure to subscribe to IntelX and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest developments in drone warfare and critical military technology. Your support helps us continue delivering in-depth analysis on the weapon systems and strategies shaping modern conflict. Thanks for watching.